So much. We want to introduce you to another friend that is going to join us on the video board. We are going to say hello to Stephanie Slayton, the Executive Director of the TLC Resource Center in Claremont. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to TLC. Just so you know, TLC provides services for children and families in Sullivan and Grafton counties. They're a part of a network of family resource centers across the state that provide critical support to families under one roof, programs for children's, teens, and parents. So, Stephanie, can you give us some examples of how the supports your organization provides? What are you seeing in terms of need? What's the big need right now?
Yeah, thank you. It's exciting to be here and hear you listing all of these amazing nonprofits. I think that, I've been at TLC for the last year and a half, and I am still actually learning about all of the amazing things we're doing. So we've grown a lot. We have the 4 programs you mentioned. So we do youth programming, programming for people in recovery, family supports, and our rural outright, actually, which is for LGBTQIA+.
Mm-hmm.
What we're working on this year is really building a stronger, healthier community together. Mm-hmm. So TLC stands for Teach Loving Connections, and we're really just embracing that concept this year as we kind of come out of the pandemic and start thinking about what is it that our community really needs? And the feeling is we need to be connected. We need to come together and talk about how we're going to take care of each other, take care of ourselves, make sure people are reconnecting with their peers. That's especially critical for children and youth, as you know. It's been a long road for them over the past couple of years. So a lot of the new programs and activities that we're offering are really based on that.
Are you seeing one issue maybe be a little bit more prominent, coming out of those COVID couple of years, like you talked about socialization and things like that? Are you seeing one thing, a little bit more prevalent than maybe it was before?
Yeah, we have this new moms group. It's really incredible. And if you can imagine what it must have been like for them to have their first baby during a pandemic. For some of the moms, people weren't even allowed to be in the room while the baby was being born. And then some of those things that might happen after you welcome a new little one to your house, people coming in and helping with childcare while you take a nap or bringing you food. A lot of those things didn't happen. Sure. So these moms are feeling pretty isolated. And unfortunately, when we feel lonely, we start to feel sad. And when we feel sad and we've got this new baby that we're not really sure what to do with, that can kind of spiral, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so we talk a lot about that. And our team has gotten some extra training in what's called perinatal mental health, which is providing some extra supports to moms up until the baby turns 1. Mm-hmm. And really focusing in on how they're feeling. We do the new moms group to connect them to other new moms. We were doing it virtually for a while, which was funny because you'd have all these like moms and babies up on the screen, and the microphone wants to pick up the babies crying but the moms worked through that, and then they realized, well, everyone's baby is crying, and that's okay. It's okay that we're going through that, and we can talk about it together. So I think that piece is kind of illustrative of what we've seen in other groups that we work with as well.
Realizing they're not the only one, right? Going through that, they're not in it
Absolutely.
alone is crucial. This is Stephanie Slayton, the Executive Director of the TLC Family Resource Center in Claremont.
Stephanie, one of the things as I'm listening to you talk about these connections between the Family Resource Center and the families themselves is I'm reminded of that analogy of instead of plucking and rescuing someone else at the bottom of the stream, you're catching them before they fall in. And so much of what you're doing is proactive. So much of it is, like you said a minute ago, supports, not necessarily fixing a problem, but helping prevent them in the first place. How important is that to a family, a mom's or a dad's esteem and sense of confidence and connectivity to the family? How important is that to you?
I think it's huge. We talk a lot about how in the world of nonprofits, we are trying to work ourselves out of a job, essentially, right? Most of us really want to do exactly what you're saying. We want to go up the stream, figure out where people are falling into the river, and build a bridge. Let's make sure they're not falling in anymore and they can get to where they want to go in an easier way. And so we need both. We need to be doing that, and we need to continue doing our intervention services. Our peer recovery program is a great intervention model, and I think when you look at using people who have that lived experience, like so many of our programs do, you start talking about how do we authentically help people from a place of knowing and experience, and we sit down with them and we say, no, you're having a tough day, and I've had those kinds of tough days too. And let's talk about some of the things that you do sometimes to get through the tough days. And just really letting people know that they're not in it alone when they do fall in the river. Hey, we fell in the river too. Here's how we think we can help you get out. Do you want to try this? Or maybe you want to try this other way over here. And so that peer model is also a way to build prevention and intervention. So with youth, we use that peer model in like substance use prevention. And then with adults who maybe are already in recovery, we can use it there as well.
That's great.
You mentioned earlier the LGBTQ community, and I didn't know if you had said youth, I didn't know if you said or adults, or if it applies to both. But you'd think we live in a world where everybody's accepted and let them be comfortable in their own skin and love everybody. But sometimes people, have issues, whether they're family issues, and what does the TLC Center help them cope with that and help them to sort of be more comfortable in who they are and love themselves? Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think, our model is really around education and information and awareness.
Right.
And so sometimes we're doing that for people to make healthier decisions for themselves, so they have all the information they need to figure things out. And sometimes we're doing it with the broader community so that they can create some awareness about the different types of people that live in our community with us. So, for example, next Saturday, June 18th, we have our Pride community event. That will be at noon at Arrowhead Recreation Center here in Claremont. And that's just an event for the entire community.
Right.
But there's a resource fair there so people can get more information about LGBTQ resources. There will be activities and programs and a great barbecue. But the idea is that we can all come together.
Sure.
And I think when we're in the same space, we start to understand, oh, wait, we both like to play cornhole. It doesn't really matter that you're gay or transgender.
Right.
You're still beating me at cornhole. So we have that in common. Or, that's the thing. I think it's finding those threads of commonality. We all want to feel like we belong.
When you're in that moment, Stephanie, right? When you're in a place like the barbecue, right? And you're watching this go on, and you're watching that personal connection, and that communication between people that might not have done so before. How gratifying is that for you?
It's exciting.
Right?
That feeling you get when, my kids call it like you're filling your bucket. I think kindergarten teachers probably teach them how to do that with their friends, but those are the moments of filling my bucket.
Sure.
Because this work is hard. There are some tough days. And all I need to do is go, sit in the playroom with the toddlers, or just peek in on the recovery art group in the back, or show up at we did a really fun, it was a drag queen story hour, and so you get to have those experiences and you see people coming together and putting aside whatever imagined differences they have and connecting. And those are the things I think that keep all of us going in the nonprofit sector.
This is another example of light in the dark.
It's just great.
It really is.
It's great.
Right? You talked about the recovery community, when somebody finds something and they get the strength to realize that they can recover and they can beat it. I can't even imagine the joy that fills your heart when you see that right in front of you. That's amazing. That's inspiring.
The Family Resource Centers are absolutely unsung heroes in our state of New Hampshire. And Steph, we cannot thank you enough for the work that you do every day to just, you know what, reassure people that the crap that they're going through and the stress that they're dealing with is what we're all going through and what we're all dealing with.
Right.
And just stepping out from that feeling of isolation just can make such a huge difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you both so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk a little bit about what we do. Our goal is 30 donors. It's our 30th anniversary. So please pop on. I think I heard you say earlier, $5 is a good donation. $5 is awesome for us.
Oh my
We just
God.
want
30 donors.
30 donors we can do right now.
TLC Family Resource Center in Claremont. Let's roll, people.
Look at the smile. Look
Come
at
on,
her
30
beautiful
donors.
smile.
We got
30
it.
donors by the time we get to 7:15. Oh my gosh.
Thank you for what you do, and it's a pleasure to meet you, and carry on with the great work that you do at the TLC support centers. Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Steph.
Stephanie Slayton, the Executive Director, TLC Family Resource Center in Claremont.
Awesome.
Light in
30
the dark,
donors.
man.
30 donors.
Light in the dark. That's all they're asking for.
Come on,
$30.
that's
30 donors.
such
We
a-
could do better than that.
Yes, we
We could
can.
surpass that goal for Stephanie and
Yeah.
all the great work that they do.
I like that idea. I like that a lot. I like what he's saying.
It's
I like the words that are coming out of your mouth.
to sit here and to talk to these people that we've talked to.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
It is.
Like,
It's
do you
great.
feel it? I feel it.
I know, it's
I
awesome.
honestly do.
Because it's a lot of people helping a lot of really great causes that impact our lives every single day. Rising tide lifts all.